We're moving into the second segment of the Test 19 review, and here is the problem. Graph on a number line, -3 is less than x is less than or equal to 2. So what we have is we have 3 is non-inclusive in this, so we have an open circle around it. We have 2 is included, is less than or equal to 2, and all we have is a nice line going from -3 to +2, including +2, but not including -3. Solve this. So we want to find out what x is. X squared plus 1 is equal to 50. So we know that x squared is equal to 50 minus 1. We're just isolating the x. And so x squared equals 50 minus 1. And so that means x squared is equal to 49. That means x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 49. We know what the square root of 49 is. So x squared is equal to plus or minus 7. That's all this one is. Don't go too far. Don't get scared. Just go through that and solve for x. This one is we graph these equations to find out one pair of x and y values that is a solution to both equations. Now, all we do is we take the first equation, y is equal to x minus 1, and when x is equal to 0, y is equal to -1. When y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. So what we do is we graph this equation, we graph this line, and it will just go right up here, right down there. Okay, not a great line, but a good enough line. Then we take our second equation, y equals -x plus 3. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3. And when y is equal to 0, x is equal to 3. And so we take this line. Let's make this a different color. Okay, and this goes from 3 to -3. You see why I don't like doing it this way? Because it's never really totally exact, especially when I draw lines. But here's where our line comes up, and we come up with the point 2, 1, and that's where these lines meet, and that's the solution to this equation. Derek ran 400 meters in 1 minute. What we want to do is convert Derek's average speed to kilometers per hour. So the way we do that is we do unit conversions. And so we say 400 meters per 1 minute. And what we want to do is we want to convert the meters to kilometers. So we have 1 kilometer over 1,000 meters. And we want to convert minutes per hour to hours. So we end up with 60 minutes per hour. And so what does that give us? So we go and cancel out our minutes. We cancel out our meters. Okay, and that gives us, that's 400 by the way, that gives us 400 times 60, which gives us 24,000 kilometers per 1,000 hours. And that's equals 24 kilometers per hour. This one, two number cubes are going to be rolled at the same time. What's the probability that both number cubes will show an even number? Number cubes are the same as dice. There are 6 numbers on a dice, on a die. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the general, unless they tell you something else. There are exactly the same number of odd numbers. 1, 3, 5 is even. 2, 4, 6. So the probability of rolling an odd number or an even number is going to be 1 out of 2. So the first time you roll, it's 1 out of 2. It's probably getting an even number. The second time you roll, it's 1 out of 2 is the probability of getting an even number. So 1/2 times 1/2 is equal to 1 out of 4. And that's all it takes. That's not a hard problem. Don't make it too hard. Next problem. How much money is 6 2/3% of $24? 6 2/3% is 0.06 with the represent over the 6, because 66 2/3 would be 2/3. 6.06 would be equal to 2/30ths, right? Times $24, which is equal to 1/15 times 24. And you should come up with $1.60. Now we solve for x. This time we actually come up with an answer for x. So when it says some other stuff, don't worry about that. This time we're solving for x, so we come up with 3. First thing we do is we distribute the 3. We come up with 3x plus 3 minus 2x is equal to 2. So that we go and combine the like terms. 3x minus 2x is x plus 3 equals 2. We subtract 3 from both sides and we come up with x is equal to -1. Very simple, and we're done with that. Another time we solve for x, and we come up, this is fractions, so first thing we want to do is we want to isolate the x. So we're going to get rid of that 1/2. So 2/3 x is equal to 7/12, and we subtract 1/2 from both sides, minus 1/2 is equal to 7/12 minus 6/12, right? So that means 2/3 x is equal to 1/12. Multiply both sides times 3/2. And that means that x is equal to 3/24 or 1/8. Now we simplify the expression. Do not necessarily, you don't have to solve for x in this case. What we need to do is we need to come up with the most reasonable answer here. So 3 times x plus 2 is plus 2 times x minus 3. We'll not be able to figure out what x is total here, but we will come up with a simplification of the expression. So first we distribute the 3, we get 3x plus 6, distribute the 2, plus 2x minus 6. So we combine like terms, and we get 3x plus 2x. We come up with 5x plus 6 minus 6, and that's what we end up with, 5x. And I do believe this is our last problem. This is our Lily problem, and we end up with the square root of 3 times the square root of 15. Now we multiply radicals. We can put all the numbers under the radical. So we end up with the square root of 3 times 15, which is equal to the square root of 45. So, okay? So we want to factor things out. So 45, which is the square root of 3 times 3 times 5. And so we can pull the 3 out because we have a 3 times 3 under the radical. And that's equal to 3 times the square root of 5. And that's our answer. So this is the review. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class. And I hope this is going to help you. Lord bless you. And hopefully we'll be very successful on this test.